just there to give glory and adoration to the Lord for his continuous and simultaneous mercies over our lives. Ajayi Abiodun Blessing from Greater Love Model College. I was born on December 20th, 2007. I'm here to give I'm here to give a dramatic presentation over my story titled The Past Speaks. There arose problems and difficulties in the village called Igbalayi. The king the king had to visit the Ifa priest so as to consult the gods on what to do so as to let peace and tranquility reign in the village. And when the king got to the Ifa priest, then the Ifa priest consulted the gods on what to do, and the gods requested for some sacrificial items. And when they did this, peace and tranquility came back to the village, and the land enjoyed peace, and everything was going as expected. During the reign of the king, when it was time for the king to renew the sacrificial contract between him and the gods, the king died, and it was left for the kingmakers and the Ifa priest to choose between the two sons of the late king. And the name of the two sons of the king were Prince Adetoba, and Prince Gbaligeshi. The Ifa priest consulted the gods to know who the gods was interested in, and the gods chose Prince Gbaligeshi as the new king of the land to fill the vacant throne. But when Prince Adetoba knew this, Prince Adetoba went back to the Ifa priest to manipulate some things for him so as to fill the vacant throne. And when they did this to him, he casted spell on Prince Gbaligeshi, and which made Prince Gbaligeshi to run mad for several years, and Prince Adetoba became the king. And when Prince Adetoba became the king, Prince Adetoba began to rule the village in a mischievous and in an unruly manner. Prince Adetoba's sons and daughters were living a wayward and mischievous lives. They didn't have any regard for no person. And this even made one of the daughters of the king to become a victim of evil circumstances, and which led to her death. And when the king saw this, the king began to advise his sons and daughters to desist from being wayward, but the reverse was the case. The king's sons habits were nothing to write home about, and the kings continued to advise them, but they didn't heed to the advice. The king came up with an idea to desist from giving his sons and daughters money. And when the prince saw this, they decide to engage in some unruly ways, which made the prince to seek an advice from his friends so as to know what to do. Then the prince decided to steal one of the ancestral crown and sell it to the white men, because he always know that the white men are always interested in those cultural things. And in the course of selling this, he kept the ancestral crown in an uncompleted building, not knowing that a madman was residing there, who was Prince Gbaligeshi. And in the course of selling this, the prince went back so as to take the ancestral crown to sell it. But when he got there, the madman has wore the ancestral crown, and the prince began to question the madman, but all his efforts were put to futility. He began to run after the madman, but unfortunately for him, the madman vanished into the thin air, and the prince began to try all means to get this crown, but his efforts were not crowned. And this went on, and months went by. Fortunately for the madman came back to his sense. And he began to roam about. And when he saw the palace, the madman barged in, and he was shouting. He was exclaiming that the king should come out. Then when the king came out with the chiefs, the king began to question the madman, and the madman began to see began to reveal what has been done to him. And when the king saw this and the other mischievous kingmakers, they slumped and they died. And when they treated the Prince Gbaligeshi, who ran mad before, he was treated, and he was made the king. But on the day of coronation, an audience was given to one of the kingmakers, and he was given the privilege to talk to the villagers. And when he was advising the villagers, he told them that they should remember that in everything they do, and they should always remember that the past speaks. And the inspiration why I wrote the story was to advise those bad doers that don't think about the consequences of tomorrow, that they should always think that there's always a reward for everything. Thank you.